Tecentriq raises hope of new mesothelioma clinical trial. The FDA as of late affirmed immunotherapy tranquilized Tecentriq, desilizumab, for certain bladder and non-little cell lung diseases, raising trusts in a mesothelioma particular clinical trial in 2017. Tecentriq, a result of Genentech Oncology, is taking after the way of Keytruda, pembrolizumab, and Opdivo, nivolumab, as medications that objective a particular protein hindering a body's resistant framework from assaulting malignancy cells. The U.S. Nourishment and Medication Organization endorsed Keytruda and Opdivo before for non-little cell lung tumor, and those medications are working their way through the clinical trial prepare for the treatment of mesothelioma. Mesothelioma patients as of now are utilizing both medications sporadically and effectively through the FDA's Patient Get To or Humane Utilize programs. Most restorative pros concur these immunotherapy drugs can possibly change the present standard of 10 to mesothelioma and numerous different malignancies today. Immunotherapy is a distinct advantage, said Dr. Drew Pardo, executive of the Bloomberg Kimmel Establishment for Disease Immunotherapy in Baltimore. We don't think there is a solitary disease out there that the patient's own insusceptible framework can't beat. Unleashing the safe framework with Tecentriq. Every one of the three of these medications focus on the PD-L1 or PD-1 proteins that keep the insusceptible framework from annihilating the malignancies. These proteins are communicated normally in about portion of mesothelioma patients analyzed. The rates change inside various malignancies. The FDA in May endorsed Tecentriq to treat urothelial carcinoma, the most widely recognized sort of bladder malignancy. Tecentriq turned into the primary PD-L1 inhibitor endorsed for this sort of malignancy. In October, the FDA gave Tecentriq the green light for the treatment of patients with metastatic non-little cell lung tumor whose infection quit reacting to chemotherapy. 2 universal clinical trials are credited for that endorsement. Analysts have tried Tecentriq on a restricted premise, however with great accomplishment, for mesothelioma as a major aspect of a continuous global trial of strong tumors that incorporated a little subset of patients with prostate and pleural mesothelioma diseases. The study included focuses in New York, Houston, Cleveland, and Nashville. As indicated by one of the trial specialists, the reaction to mesothelioma was finished and emotional. Mesothelioma is a forceful and uncommon disease. Specialists analyze around 3,000 cases every year, making research contemplates hard to finance and finish. By correlation, lung growth is analyzed in 220,000 individuals yearly in the U.S. The asbestos-related tumor is serious and the run-of-the-mill future is under year and a half. The standard of care incorporates a mix of chemotherapy, radiation and surgery, albeit short of what 33% of patients are not kidding surgical applicants. Time after time, the ailment has metastasized before it is analyzed, leaving patients with couple of alternatives. Immunotherapy drugs, on the off chance that they are FDA endorsed, could change that essentially. Lung disease survival time increments with immunotherapy. Mesothelioma authorities frequently piggyback on lung malignancy Explore, which is going on with Keytruda, Opdivo and now Tecentriq. Tecentriq gives these patients another treatment focusing on the PD-L1 pathway, Dr. Richard Posner, executive of the Workplace of Hematology and Oncology items in the FDA's Inside for Medication Assessment and Research, said not long ago. Items that square PD-1/PD-L1 cooperations are a piece of a developing tale about the relationship between the body's insusceptible framework and its communication with growth cells. The 2 lung tumor trials that prompted to the FDA's endorsement of Tecentriq contrasted its utilization with chemotherapy. Tecentriq brought about enhancements of 4.2 and 2.9 months in general survival, individually. An aggregate of 1,137 patients took part in the trials. Members were given an hour-long measurement of Tecentriq like clockwork. Weakness, diminished craving and sickness were the most widely recognized antagonistic responses to the medication. They were significantly less genuine than those reactions from run-of-the-mill chemotherapy. In both trials, including bladder growth and lung disease, patients with more elevated amounts of PD-L1 expression will probably react decidedly to the medication. The outcomes added to the conviction that a subset of mesothelioma patients would benefit from outside assistance impressively by Tecentriq.